Yeah, man. What's the one of the biggest lessons that you've learned since being in the wrestling business? Now, sometimes you learn things that in wrestling or in the wrestling business that transcends and applies to other areas of your life. So, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned uh, from pro wrestling?
Uh, this is going to sound so simple, uh, but I'll elaborate on it. The biggest lesson that I've taken away that I feel like can apply to life in general outside of professional wrestling, but started from professional wrestling, uh, is that it doesn't matter, right? And what I mean by that is if you go out there and you think you have a bad match or you mess something up or uh, you looked stupid doing this or you had a botch or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't because that doesn't matter. But what you do with that and how you move forward from that, that's what matters, right? Because I could go out there and have a match, and in my mind, I could sit there and think to myself, like, shit, that stunk the house up for some reason. But for me, it's even worse because in my brain, in my mind, I'm such a perfectionist, right? So if things don't go perfectly in my mind, that's a failure, or it was, right? Then it's a failure. And I will let that harp and it will linger with me in my brain, in the back of my mind forever, right? And it just messes with my psyche and it'll affect my training, it'll affect the next time I go out there. And once you start to get that deep into things, well, not only are you doing a detriment to yourself, but you're also doing a detriment to the people that you're in there trying to work with, right? Because if your mind's not into it, you are a danger, right? To yourself and to the person that you're trying to protect and make sure that they get home to their family at the end of the night. So the biggest thing that I've learned is that it doesn't matter. Shit's going to happen. Mistakes might happen. But if everyone involved can walk away safely and go home and learn from that experiment, learn from that experience, and know what they can take away from it to try to do what they can to make sure it doesn't happen again or to improve on it, that is more important than sitting there and constantly thinking about it because all you're going to do is put yourself into a deeper hole and a deeper hole. And eventually you're going to get yourself so deep into that hole that you're not going to be able to get yourself out of it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. You live, you learn, you improve, and you get better. And the only way you get better, truly, I feel, is that if you make mistakes, right? Because you make a mistake, you change it. People are like, "Oh, you make a mistake, you can make a mistake multiple times." For me, no, that's a habit, right? That's habitual behavior. That's a habit. You learn from a mistake so that you don't make it again, or you can do everything in your power to make sure it doesn't happen again. So to surmise that, it doesn't matter. You live, you learn, and you grow. Don't harp, don't dwell, because no one benefits from that, especially yourself.